Most guys don't realize when a woman stops liking them because she won't say it, but she'll show it over and over again, not with words, but with every small, calculated move. And by the time you notice, you've already wasted time, energy, money, your self-worth, all in silence. The truth? She decided long ago she's done with you emotionally, but she'd rather keep you confused than be honest. You deserve to see the truth, no matter how hard it hits. And if you don't, you'll keep attracting women who pretend to like you while planning their exit. Comment, "No more games," if you're done living blind. Number 1, she avoids real conversations. When a woman avoids real conversations, it's not because she's shy, it's because she doesn't feel emotionally safe with you or simply doesn't value the connection enough to open up. And the signs are everywhere if you're willing to stop making excuses for her and start watching how she engages when the mask slips. Every time you ask how she's doing and she says, "Fine." Every time you share something personal and she changes the subject. Every time she gives you vague, empty responses like "lol," "okay," or "cool." When you try to go deeper than the surface, it isn't just her being tired or distracted. It's her silently telling you that your presence doesn't light her up, that your curiosity doesn't excite her, that your attempts at connection are more annoying than welcome. And you've probably felt this in your gut. You've felt her emotional absence, her subtle withdrawal, that sense of talking to a wall painted to look like a person. Because when someone is truly interested in building something meaningful, they lean in, they engage, they ask, they reflect, and they return energy, not drain it. So when she's avoiding real conversation, it's not because she's playing hard to get. It's because she already got what she wanted, or never saw you as someone worth revealing her inner world to. And here's where it gets painful. Most men double down in this moment. They try harder, get more vulnerable, more patient, more understanding, thinking if they just show her how deep they are, she'll finally open up. But the brutal truth is, no one can force connection where desire doesn't exist. And the more you push, the more you prove your neediness and lack of self-respect. And the deeper she retreats behind the polite walls of small talk, dead-end texts and distracted stares while you're speaking. If you've ever poured your heart out and received a "that's crazy" or "wow" in return, you know what it feels like to speak to someone who is emotionally elsewhere. And that's not just hurtful, it's humiliating. It tells your nervous system that your inner world isn't worth noticing, and over time, this chips away at your self-worth. Not because she says you're worthless, but because her disinterest makes you question your value in silence. And here's the shift. You need to stop measuring your worth based on someone else's emotional availability, because real strength isn't in endlessly trying to connect. It's in recognizing when someone is not worthy of your words, your stories, your energy, and stepping away without needing closure or validation. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is recognize that silence, deflection, and avoidance are rejections in disguise, and stop translating those behaviors into "maybe she's just busy," because she's not too busy to have deep conversations. She's just not interested in having them with you. And once you see this, you stop chasing ghosts and start building the kind of presence that commands connection, not begs for it. Think about this. Have you ever had a friend, family member, or someone random instantly open up to you because they felt your energy was safe, steady, grounded? That's the kind of emotional frame you need to start developing, where your energy speaks for you before your words do, where people can feel that you're not here to force intimacy, but to invite it. And if it's not returned, you walk, not in bitterness, but in quiet clarity. Because you've realized that real relationships aren't built on trying to fix someone's communication habits. They're built on mutual emotional investment, and anything less is a slow drain on your peace and power. So what do? You start by protecting your energy like it's your currency, because it is. And every time you waste it on a one-sided connection, you bankrupt your self-respect. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't ask questions. You stop chasing depth with people who can't even maintain eye contact. And you redirect that energy into becoming so emotionally grounded that your mere presence creates space for others to open up. Not because you're trying, but because you've stopped needing it, because you've started living in alignment with your values instead of someone else's approval. And the more you do this, the more you attract people who don't avoid real conversations, because they live in them, breathe them, crave them, just like you. And here's where Stoicism becomes more than just a word. It becomes a way of interacting with people, where you accept what is, you detach from what you can't control, and you no longer beg for depth where there is only distance, because your time, your attention, your heart, they're not offerings to be thrown at someone hoping they'll respond. They're sacred, and when you treat them that way, the world responds in kind, and women who can't hold conversations fall away, not with resentment, but with irrelevance, because you've outgrown the need for breadcrumbs and started building the kind of life where real connection is the standard, not the exception. So the next time you're met with silence, half-laughs, dry texts, or lazy small talk, instead of wondering what's wrong with you, ask what kind of man you want to be. The one who fights for attention, or the one who commands respect simply by knowing his worth. And from that place, everything changes. You don't chase conversations anymore. You become the conversation that others want to stay in, because you've learned that when someone avoids depth, they're showing you their emotional ceiling, and it's not your job to lower your standards to fit under it. If this hit you in the chest, if you've felt the weight of giving more than you ever received, if you're tired of guessing, hoping, overthinking, and still coming up short, then the Stoic Relationship Blueprint was written for you. This isn't just a book. It's a shift in how you see yourself, women, love, and power. It's filled with timeless principles you were never taught but always needed, and now it's available as an audiobook, so you can absorb these life-changing truths while walking, jogging, or just clearing your head. You don't have to stop your life to fix your life. Press play and let it pour into you. It's linked in the comments, and once it's yours forever. No expiration, no monthly fee. Just raw, clear, unshakable wisdom you can return to anytime you start slipping into your old patterns. This is the knowledge that ends confusion and replaces it with strength. Don't wait. Own it. Live it. Let it become the foundation you build everything else on. Number 2. She never initiates anything. When a woman never initiates anything, not the first message, not the plans, not the check-ins, not even the most basic effort to show she values your presence, what she's really saying is that she doesn't see you as someone worth investing in emotionally. And while her silence may sound like an opportunity to try harder, what it really is a clear message that you're optional to her, a fallback, a placeholder for attention until someone she actually wants comes along. And yet you stay. You keep texting first. You keep planning the next meetup. You keep convincing yourself she's just busy or distracted or not good at texting or more reserved. But all of those excuses are lies you tell yourself to avoid facing the fact that if she truly valued you, she'd be showing it in real time, not with mixed signals, not with silence, not with the bare minimum. Because when someone is interested, effort is natural, not forced. And the deeper problem is not her lack of interest. It's that you tolerate it, that you've been conditioned to think a relationship requires one person carrying the full weight, while the other floats along, taking what they can without ever giving back. And the result is you trapped in a loop where you initiate everything while she evaluates you from a distance, never getting involved, never choosing you, never meeting you halfway, and you internalize that as rejection. But instead of walking away, you double down. You offer more. You get better. You start to overthink every word you send, every time you text, as if you can optimize your way into her heart. But the truth is, You can't negotiate attraction. You can't beg someone into valuing you. And the more you try, the more unattractive you become. Not because of who you are, but because of how much you're willing to accept in exchange for being wanted. And what you don't realize is that every time you chase someone who doesn't initiate, you teach yourself that your presence requires justification, that your love needs to be earned through service, through convenience, through suffering. And that belief slowly erodes your dignity from the inside out, until one day you look back and wonder how you became a man who begs for connection from someone who doesn't even miss you when you're gone. And here's the raw truth. No one is too busy to check on someone they care about. No one is too introverted to respond to someone they think about. No one forgets to reach out when they genuinely want you in their life. And yet you've probably told yourself she's just not the initiating type, that she's old-fashioned or just playing it safe. But deep down, you know it's not about her personality. It's about her priorities, and you are not one of them. So instead of chasing what isn't yours, you need to confront what inside of you keeps allowing this dynamic to continue, because a person who never initiates is someone who doesn't see your worth clearly, or worse, someone who does see it and still chooses not to act. And that kind of apathy is more dangerous than hate, because at least hate acknowledges your presence. This kind of indifference treats you like an emotional vending machine, only to be interacted with when she's bored or wants something. And if that hits too close to home, it's because you've felt that coldness. You've lived it. You've waited for texts that never came, planned dates she casually bailed on, built expectations around someone who gave you breadcrumbs at best. And the solution is not to try harder. It's to become so deeply grounded in your standards that you'd rather be alone than tolerated. Because real strength is not in winning her over, it's in not needing her to begin with. And when you understand this, you stop being an emotional slave to other people's inconsistency and start living by your own code, one where your attention is sacred, your time is valuable, and your energy is no longer given freely to those who can't meet you halfway. And that's when everything changes. You stop waiting for texts. You stop overthinking silence. You stop making plans for people who won't even answer the phone. And instead, you build a life that draws in those who naturally want to contribute. Because when you stop initiating with people who don't reciprocate, you make space for people who do. And that's when you start seeing who's really for you, because anyone can enjoy being chased, but only a few will choose to chase back. And those are the people worth your effort. Not the ones who only reply when it's convenient. Not the ones who expect you to do all the work while they sit back and judge. Because you're not here to perform, you're here to connect. And that means walking away from those who don't make the same effort. Not with bitterness, but with clarity. Because the more you allow one-sided dynamics, the more you teach yourself that your value is conditional, and it never is. Your value is intrinsic, but you must start acting like it. Stop apologizing for expecting effort. Stop justifying their indifference. Stop chasing ghosts and begin embodying the kind of man who no longer needs to initiate everything because he's surrounded by people who want to stay, people who feel your energy and show up without needing to be asked twice. And that shift doesn't come from games or tactics. It comes from self-respect. From finally realizing that if someone can go days without speaking to you, they've already made their decision, and it's your job to accept it, not question it, not fix it, just accept it, and use that pain to build discipline, not desperation, because every unanswered text, every last-minute cancellation, every empty conversation you've had was a lesson in seeing your own worth more clearly. And now that you see it, you can't unsee it. Now you know you can't pretend not to. And now that you've felt what it's like to be the only one initiating, you'll never allow yourself to stay in that place again. Not because you're heartless, but because you finally learned to protect your own heart first. Number 3. Her laughs feel forced. Genuine laughter reveals interest without needing words. It's the clearest sign someone is present with you, emotionally engaged, enjoying your company beyond obligation or habit. But a laugh that feels hollow, delayed, or disconnected carries the weight of politeness, not passion. And deep down, you already feel the difference. You've told a story, opened up, tried to create a moment, and in return, you get a smile that dies at the lips. A laugh that sounds like background noise, like she's humoring you rather than being moved by you. And this isn't subtle. This is screaming disinterest masked as etiquette. Yet most men ignore it. They continue performing, thinking they just need to improve their jokes, change their tone, become funnier, more clever, more confident. But the truth they don't want to face is that laughter is involuntary when someone is emotionally involved and forced when someone's emotionally checked out. And the worst part is not the silence that follows the joke. It's the fake response, the empty chuckle that reminds you she's no longer invested, that you've become an actor on a stage with no audience, performing scenes she's already walked out on, and you know it because you feel drained after every interaction, like you're carrying the weight of both people's energy, like every conversation depends on you to breathe life into it. And still, you persist because you don't want to accept that someone who once laughed easily around you now does so out of obligation, not affection. And in doing so, you betray yourself repeatedly for the illusion of connection, thinking that if you just find the right story or punchline, she'll return to the woman you remember, the one whose laughter made you feel seen, alive, accepted. But what you miss is the painful truth that she's already left, not physically, but emotionally, and the person sitting across from you is just a shell of who she used to be when she cared. And every fake laugh she gives you is a breadcrumb designed to keep the peace, to avoid confrontation, to delay the moment where she finally admits she's no longer interested. And you take those breadcrumbs and build castles in your head, imagining that maybe things are just going through a rough patch. Maybe she's just tired. Maybe you need to be more romantic, but deep down you know because your body reacts, your stomach sinks, your energy drops, your instincts scream that something isn't right, and yet your hope silences the truth, and that's the prison. When you start lying to yourself because the truth is too painful to accept, and you continue performing like a clown, hoping for one real laugh from an audience that no longer cares, hoping she'll see how much effort you're putting in and finally feel something again. But what she feels is pity, not passion. And pity is the most disrespectful form of attention because it doesn't come from admiration, it comes from guilt. And you don't want to be tolerated out of guilt. You want to be wanted out of desire, and if that's no longer present, then every fake laugh, every dry smile, every distracted glance is a message. She's done, and you should be too, but you won't be until you let go of the fantasy and accept the present, not as a punishment, but as a revelation. Because the moment you stop chasing forced laughter is the moment you reclaim your dignity. The moment you realize that being around someone who pretends to enjoy you is far lonelier than being alone, and that kind of loneliness eats away at your spirit quietly, turning you into someone who doubts their own worth every time they speak. So the solution isn't to become funnier, louder, more animated. It's to stop performing and start observing. Because once you recognize fake laughter, you see the entire dynamic differently. You stop mistaking noise for connection, and you begin to build relationships rooted in mutual joy, not social obligation. And it starts with you choosing silence over fake comfort, peace over forced interaction, truth over fantasy. Because real connection doesn't require a stage. It happens in presence, in eye contact, in the kind of laughter that bursts out without trying. And if that's not what you're getting, then you need to ask yourself why you're still showing up to audition for someone who's already walked out of the theater. And here's where it turns around. Once you stop needing to be liked, you become powerful, because your sense of worth no longer depends on someone's reactions. It's built from within, and that inner foundation makes you calm, grounded, and deeply attractive. Not in a flashy way, but in a way that makes people lean in when you speak, laugh when you pause, engage without being forced, because your presence is no longer performing. It's real, and real presence creates real connection. And from that place, you'll never have to guess if her laugh is real again, because you'll know, not from what she says, but from how she shows up, how she reacts, how she engages. And if that's not happening, you won't try harder. You'll simply move on. Not because you're heartless, but because you finally learned to choose what's true over what's familiar. And truth is always better than pretending to be funny just to keep someone from leaving. Number 4. She always needs space. Space becomes the perfect excuse for someone who wants to create distance without confrontation. And the moment you hear, "I just need space," from someone who used to be consistent, affectionate, and present, something inside you shifts. But instead of trusting that instinct, you rationalize it. You tell yourself, maybe she's going through something, maybe she's overwhelmed, maybe it's work, maybe it's family stress, maybe she's an introvert who needs time to recharge. And in doing so, you ignore the deeper reality that space in this context rarely means a desire to return stronger. It usually means she's already emotionally gone and just hasn't told you yet, and the space she asks for becomes a slow and quiet withdrawal disguised as emotional self-care, while you sit on the other end, waiting, hoping, analyzing, measuring your words, questioning your actions, replaying every recent conversation looking for the moment it started to unravel, thinking if you just give her what she's asking for, she'll see your patience and come back more grateful, more affectionate, more ready. But that's not what happens, because she's not using that space to miss you. She's using it to detach without guilt, to keep you on a leash while she explores her options, or simply breathes without the weight of your presence. And the cruel part is that she doesn't completely let go either. She still sends the occasional message, the check-in, the reaction to your story, just enough to keep you emotionally connected, but not enough to rebuild anything. And you cling to those breadcrumbs like proof that she still cares, ignoring the fact that consistency is love's truest form, not crumbs sent out of guilt or convenience. And you slowly find yourself shrinking, making yourself smaller, more accommodating, more agreeable, just so she doesn't ask for more distance. But every time you give her that space, what you're really doing is confirming that your needs don't matter, that your presence is negotiable, that your connection is one-sided, and that you're willing to wait for someone who's already chosen to drift. And in that waiting, you abandon yourself, you lose your standards, your peace, your direction, because your entire emotional state becomes tied to the hope that she'll return. But a woman who truly wants to be with you doesn't need space to decide. She leans in, not away. She communicates instead of withdrawing. She adjusts instead of escaping. And any woman who uses distance to think knows deep down she's looking for an out, not a reset. And what hurts most is that you've convinced yourself that giving space is a noble thing, that it shows maturity, understanding, strength. But what it really shows is fear. The fear of losing someone who's already halfway out the door. The fear of confronting the truth that you're not a priority anymore, that you're being tolerated until she no longer needs to pretend. And if you're honest with yourself, you've felt this before. The shift from warmth to coldness, the delay in replies, the lack of effort, the dry energy that makes every conversation feel like you're dragging dead weight. But you ignore it, hoping it's temporary, because the alternative means letting go. And letting go means facing the void, facing your own loneliness, your own worth, your own patterns of overgiving and under-receiving. But if you want peace, if you want to reclaim your power, you have to stop confusing distance with depth. You have to stop accepting silence as love and stop allowing space to become an excuse for someone else's emotional absence. Because the truth is, the more space you give someone who's drifting, the less they feel your presence, the more they forget your impact, and the easier it becomes for them to justify walking away entirely. And you can't beg someone to stay present. You can't inspire connection through withdrawal, and you definitely can't heal a connection by stepping out of it completely just to make the other person feel more comfortable, because the kind of person who values your presence will ask for clarity, not space. They'll ask to work through things together, not apart, and you owe it to yourself to stop waiting for someone who treats you like an option, someone who only wants you when they feel like it, and start building a life where you're no longer emotionally dependent on someone's temporary indecision. Start setting standards that say, if you need space, take it, but don't expect me to stay in emotional limbo while you figure out if I matter, because the truth is, I do matter, and I don't need anyone to validate that for me. I don't need breadcrumbs to feel loved. I don't need silence to feel strong. I don't need uncertainty to grow, and I definitely don't need someone who can only appreciate me in my absence, because I bring value in presence, and if that value isn't recognized, it's not my job to prove it. It's my job to protect it, to redirect my time and energy toward people and paths that don't treat me like a maybe. And this is the shift, the stoic pivot, where you no longer react to someone pulling away by chasing, but respond by anchoring deeper into your own foundation, your values, your vision, your truth. And from that place, space doesn't hurt anymore. It clarifies, because you stop hoping for reconnection and start appreciating the silence for what it is, a final answer disguised as patience. And in that clarity, you find freedom, the kind that makes you unshakable, untouchable by temporary affection, unmoved by inconsistency, because you no longer need people to stay. You simply appreciate those who choose to, and as soon as you adopt this mindset, your entire energy shifts, your interactions shift. You stop over-explaining, stop justifying, stop reaching out, hoping they've changed their mind, and instead, you stand still, confident, whole, and grounded, and those who see your worth will gravitate, not disappear, and those who don't will exit, not because you pushed them, but because your silence no longer feeds their ego, and your boundaries no longer entertain their indecision. So next time someone says they need space, let them have it fully, without resistance, without reminders, without follow-ups, and use that space for yourself, to grow, to heal, to evolve, because the version of you that emerges from choosing peace over people-pleasing will never settle again for anyone who needs to lose you just to learn your value. Number 5, she talks about other guys a lot. A woman doesn't repeatedly bring up other men in your presence by accident. It's deliberate, calculated, and every time she drops another man's name into the conversation, whether it's her ex, her guy best friend, her co-worker, or some random guy she just ran into, she's not just talking, she's testing, and more often than not, she's telling you exactly how she sees you, not as a man she's emotionally investing in, but as someone she's emotionally detaching from. And instead of giving you her focus, her energy, her loyalty, she's giving you comparisons. And these aren't harmless, they're psychological, subtle cuts to your confidence that she delivers with a straight face while calling you insecure for noticing them. And the damage doesn't come from what she says. It comes from what she's silently signaling, that someone else is in her thoughts more than you are, that your position is not secure, that she's emotionally exploring options while pretending to be committed to you. And it's worse when she does it with a smile, when she drops a compliment about another guy's ambition, body, intelligence, humor, and you're expected to nod along and take it like a joke, like you're supposed to be evolved enough to not care, but caring doesn't make you weak. Ignoring the disrespect does, because the man who stays silent while his worth is being chipped away is not stoic. He's stuck in a game where he thinks being unbothered earns respect, but in reality, it only teaches her that she can cross boundaries without consequence, that she can weaponize other men's names as emotional leverage, and you'll still be there, trying to prove you're good enough, trying to win back attention that was never fully yours to begin with. And you might not even realize how deep this goes until you catch yourself changing, until you start questioning your value in conversations that never required you to before, until you start comparing yourself to these other guys she keeps mentioning, subtly adjusting your behavior, your tone, your appearance just to compete with men who aren't even in the room. And this is where you start to lose yourself, where your confidence no longer comes from within, but from how often she validates you compared to how often she talks about others. And in trying to compete, you lower yourself because competing for someone's attention is not love. It's submission, and you weren't born to submit. You were born to lead, to create, to live in alignment with your values. Not chase after someone who thinks dangling emotional triangles in front of you is a game, and what she's doing is not harmless. It's a manipulation, a form of emotional control that forces you to feel less than, so you fight harder to feel equal, and the more you fight, the more she watches. Not because she wants to be with you, but because your emotional reaction confirms her power over you. And this isn't love, it's control dressed as chemistry. And the more you tolerate it, the more it becomes normal, until one day you don't even realize she's doing it, because you've internalized the disrespect as part of the relationship. And the antidote isn't confrontation, it's disconnection. It's choosing to no longer participate in conversations that degrade your value, choosing to walk away from people who use comparisons as currency, who feed on insecurity instead of nurturing stability. And yes, it will hurt, because you've convinced yourself that being patient will earn you loyalty. But loyalty that must be earned by enduring disrespect is not loyalty at all. It's emotional slavery, and no man with self-respect stays in chains forged by subtle disrespect and false loyalty. And if you really want to take your power back, you have to start seeing these conversations for what they are. Not innocent stories, not passing mentions, but signs that her emotional world no longer revolves around you. And the longer you ignore them, the further away you drift from your own core, because no man is confident when he's constantly compared. No man is grounded when his value is weighed against ghosts and shadows, and no man becomes stronger by pretending not to care. Strength is not pretending, it's facing, it's calling out, it's walking away from what weakens you. And a woman who repeatedly brings up other men is showing you she doesn't value emotional exclusivity, she doesn't respect your presence, and she's testing your boundaries to see if you even have any. And every time you let it slide, you answer her question, "No, I don't." And this is why the man who learns to detach from disrespect becomes powerful, not because he punishes her, but because he stops rewarding her. He stops giving attention to actions that undermine him. He stops being the emotional punching bag for someone who's not even willing to protect his peace. And the moment you stop giving her the reaction she wants, the moment you stop entertaining the emotional drama she tries to create with comparisons, everything changes. Because she either steps up and respects the man who won't compete for what should be freely given, or she steps out and proves she was never truly invested. And either outcome is a win, because you're no longer stuck in the mental maze of wondering why she keeps talking about other men. You already know why, and knowing frees you, because once you see the game, you stop playing it, and you start living your own, on your terms. And those terms don't include being disrespected in your own relationship. Those terms don't include waiting to be chosen while being compared to strangers. Those terms include peace, clarity, and presence. And anyone who threatens that with passive-aggressive games doesn't get a second chance. They get distance, and that distance isn't punishment. It's protection, it's self-worth in motion. And from that place, you stop needing explanations, you stop needing apologies, because you're too focused on building a life that doesn't make room for emotional drama disguised as conversation. And the next time someone tries to bait you into jealousy, into chasing, into proving yourself, You smile, not because you're okay with it, but because you're done with it, and done means done, not delayed, not explained, not softened. It means you no longer accept being someone's second choice while being treated like an emotional placeholder, because you've finally remembered who you are and what you bring. And that memory alone is more powerful than any validation you were ever trying to earn. They don't want you to hear this. They don't want you thinking clearly, walking away from disrespect, building unshakable standards, and living from strength instead of desperation. That's why the Stoic relationship blueprint is dangerous. It gives you the knowledge they never taught you, the power to walk, to lead, to never beg again. It's filled with timeless Stoic principles that will shift how you think, love, and live immediately. And now it's in audiobook form. Press play while you walk, jog, drive. Let it rewire you. Let it burn through the lies you've been fed and rebuild the man beneath the hurt. It's linked in the comments. It's yours forever. Comment untouchable if you're ready to claim it. Like this video, subscribe, and help this truth reach the men who are still trapped, wasting years, losing themselves,